I actually started as a monitor. For those that are not familiar with that, are people in the studios that help cam girls and cam boys to do their job. You know, if they need something to a private show, if they need help with their English or whatever that is. So I was like, what am I doing here? You know, I should be on the other side, I should be in front of the camera. You know, I speak English. The job sounds something like I will enjoy. And because I also see so many layers to the job, I only don't see the sexual part. And also the money, honestly. I mean, the money was a huge incentive because you can make so much money in this job when you do it well.
You said something really interesting, which is that you saw more than just the sexual part of the job. You saw the other layers to it. I think a lot of people don't even realize that there are many other layers to camming than just content. From your perspective, what else is camming about? What else is being a model about?
There is definitely a social layer to it that people don't understand. There is people with disabilities, people with psychological problems that cannot have a regular sex life, for example, right? So they come to this place to satisfy that need. And I think that's beautiful, right? Because we live in a world, in a society that where we like it or not, it stigmatizes, right? And it's not easy for everyone if you don't fit the cookie cutter that life put you in, right? That tell us to be. So that's one. Also, depression and loneliness is a global pandemic, and people don't realize that, right? So a lot of people come here just looking to have a conversation, right? Just looking for some company, some human contact. A lot of people are very, very lonely. There is also an economic layer, you know? This industry in Colombia, and I will guess in Romania too, brings a lot of money to a struggle economy, you know? It gives a way to people that otherwise will not have a choice, right? I'm a bit different because, you know, I could be working a regular job, right? But many girls can't because they couldn't afford an education, their parents couldn't afford an education, and here they're able to give themselves you know, a better life, their family, their children, whatever that is, right? It's also a creative layer to it, which I love, the creative layer to the job. It's a performing job, you know, it's an acting job. And it requires you to think very quickly on your feet many times because you don't know who's coming with what needs. So you have to be like on spot just to see what angle can you take to please this person, to make this person happy. Also the photo shoots, you know, I hate it. You know, it's so funny because I hated photos before I started the job. And I was like, and that was for me before starting, I was like, should I really, I mean, that was like a con, you know, you put pros and cons. For me, that was a con. And now I love it, you know, the production of it, the logistics of it, coming out with a concept, finding the right photographer, the right place. And there is a business part to it. I'm an independent model, okay? I left the studio. I really had this vision. I was like, I'm gonna go and work from home. And then when I started to work from home, Jasmine made it very easy to do just your own business, which I thought was great. So I completely split myself from the studio. And now I'm a business manager. I really am, right? So for me, it's like the business strategy, the marketing, the relationship management, the sales, right? So this is like so many layers to this.
You know, that reminds me of a true artist and performer, like a
Absolutely, yeah.
musician creating a music video, you know?
I love how you put it. I love how you put it because I do feel we're artists. We really are. And, you know, like I have this like, this like really artist inside of me. Like I really appreciate it and I'm very sensible to it, to music, to paintings, to theater. So it really makes me feel so good that, you know, just at least, you know, another person in the world do see us as artists, because it's absolutely that. We were speaking before, the creative part is like super important of our job. And you cannot do the same thing over and over and over. You know, you have to be constantly coming up with new things to keep your public engaged. And that's what an artist does.
You mentioned that you spent time working in a studio as a model trainer, basically.
Mhm.
The models that did the best from what you saw, what were some of their qualities?
They truly enjoy what they what they did. They were not there because they have to, you know. They were there because they wanted to. And for me, that's a deal breaker. It is for me, you know. When I come to work, I don't come to work like dreadfully. I have to be here again, you know. And people, you know, we go back to the artist thing. The public perceives that when you don't want to, when you don't want to be there for them. So for me, that was the best models did that, you know. And they also took their job very, very seriously. You know, it was not something that they just come in and showed up. You know, they thought about it. What am I going to wear? What toys can I buy? What other things can I do that are different? It's just like any other business, you know. Girls that do well in this industry are girls that think about this job as either their brand, their business, or just simply take it very seriously.
I always say the secret ingredient in anything that's done well is always love. And
Yeah.
so I love how you said, the girls that did the best from what you saw when you were in the studios training are the girls that really loved what they did and they cared
Yeah.
about what they did. They put effort
Mhm.
into what they did.
Yeah.
Because you're right, that energy is very healing for members and people can
Yes.
feel it. People can
Yeah.
feel when you care about what you're doing and when you don't.
Absolutely. It's like when you go to a restaurant, it's the exact same thing. You know, you very quickly get a vibe if people are happy there and they like what they're doing and they like what they're cooking. It's very, very quickly that you can tell that. And the same happens here.
Oh yeah, I can taste the love in food or not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, seriously.
and when there's
Yes.
no love in
Mhm.
food, I can also taste it.
Exactly. When there is love and passion there, you very quickly can taste that. I agree. Yeah.
Yes, that is delicious. Yeah.
Yes. That's so true.
I'm curious, what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned since you started modeling on Live Jasmine?
Many, you know, one, being very proactive with my finance, you know, money is to invest because this as much as I love this job, I know I won't be able to do forever. I won't be able to do it forever. So that's one, right? It's a very important lesson for me. Another is that you know, all these layers were slowly showing up to me. Slowly showing up to me. For me, it was very clear. Some of the social things, you know, the loneliness part, right? But then they got deeper and deeper and deeper into how deep you can get into the psyche of humans, right? For example, for me, it was like when you walk on the street, you think like everyone is the same, you know, vanilla. And it's not, you know, we're all different universe. We're all so different. It's just that, you know, for a society to function, I guess we just have to pretend we are, and we're not, you know. And this is a space to explore all the differences. Of course, you can explore in many ways, but this is one. And for me, it was like eye-opening. Really, for me, it was like that really broadened my mind on how I not only see the work, right, but how I see people in general.
How has your financial life changed since you became a model on Jasmine?
Substantially. I mean, the place where I live, right? Um, I mean, it's a place that not many people in Colombia could afford. Let's just put it like that, right? I'm very, very comfortable. Being able to take my family on a holiday, all of them, and there are a lot of people, you know, being able to take care of my mother, right? Like, look, just don't work, for example, right? And just providing, right? And just it's obviously I believe very comfortable and like what's the name? I take care of myself very well, but it's very awesome when you have the means to help your family, right? And the people around you. And also to think about the future, right? Because retirement, right? Retirement for people in Colombia, it's not a very beautiful thing, because if you retire and what you pay for the fund, it's gonna be a very painful old age, right? So the fact that I can't, work and build towards a better retirement, it's also fantastic, because seriously, it's not something that in Colombia it's common. It's basically for the upper middle class, upper middle and upper class, right, who have access to like nice retirement homes and all that stuff. So I don't know, really. I mean, it's quality all throughout, present and future, just the way I see it.
I want to ask you, you mentioned that you have to deal with stigma. And that is one of the hard aspects of this industry.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with harsh stigma?
I work a lot on my character even before joining this industry. If you come to this industry without a solid character, it's harder. It's harder because of society, and also because some people that come to this world. Most people are great, honestly. At least I'm very fortunate. I have wonderful people visiting my chat. But once in a while comes a crazy one that wants to destroy, that wants to break, right? So you have to split the person, the character you played with who you are, because it's like a Disney character. Imagine you're the evil stepmother, and then people are judging you in real life for being the evil stepmother. And it's just a crazy example, right? You're an actress, like I'm this character here, and I'm this person in here. So like for me, having that clear split between both things helps me a lot. I also, to be honest, one of the things that this job also allows me to is to invest in me. So I have a psychoanalyst, which I love talking to. I have psychologists that I love talking to. And I don't talk to them only because of the job. Actually, I talk to them because I think it's a great outlet for me as a person. And every now and then, I touch upon things from the work, but like, it's not like a constant. So being able to afford that, it's also, a wonderful thing. But I really think just having that split clear, it works wonders.
I love what you said. I love what you said. That is such a great analogy, that if you're an actress and you play the role of an evil stepmother, and then you go out into the world and people are like, you're so
You're
mean.
evil.
Yeah. Even though that was acting, that's not who you are in your core. Like obviously there are aspects of yourself and acting that you bring out.
Yeah.
But that little character is not the whole complete you, and it's not you. And that's a great analogy. I think that's really important for people to understand. That was really great. Yeah.
I think like also actors, they also bring things from themselves, just to make the character more genuine. We do this, right? So it's a part of acting and a part of us. And, we go back to the restaurant example. People feel that too. People feel when they're genuine, when the service is genuine, when you're not just like smiling through the teeth. So it's the same here. So you have to keep also that, being true to yourself, being genuine with, the creative side of the job.
I like to end the interviews by asking one final question, which is, what is something you're the most grateful for in your life right now?
I feel like plain. What's the name? No, that's not a word in English. I feel like
content,
very content with everything I have achieved. I feel like a fulfilled professional that still see, there is a lot to do, moving forward, but is very happy with the progress is made. And for me, fulfillment, that's the word, that sense of fulfillment, it's amazing, right? And the peace that I have right now, I don't have to worry about many things, honestly. The things I worry for is because I choose to worry about them. No, because I have to, right? And in a world as chaotic as it is, that is a luxury. That's a luxury that many don't have. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoy doing this. I really think this has to be said. This has to be put out there. And the fact that you guys took the initiative, that's why I was like, I need to make this happen. This has to happen. I need to be part of this. So thank you.